Hi everyone, it's Dawn, and today I'm going to talk to you about keeping our hands youthful. I'm over 50 years old. I'm a registered nurse, so I worked in an intensive care unit for 12 years, and I worked in an open heart bypass unit, so we were constantly washing our hands. I was using sharp tools, so I would get little abrasions and things like that sometimes on my hands, and so keeping my hands in really good shape was very important to me. I'm now a stay-at-home mom, and I have 4 kids, but my hands really take a beating. I'm always cooking in the kitchen and I'm always taking care of my kids. So, you're just busy when you're home working in your house, and then your hands take a beating there too. So I wanted to share with you some simple tips and tricks that I do to keep my hands looking youthful over the age of 50. First of all, I'm going to come up close and show you my hands. So as you all can see, I'm a very, very fair-skinned redhead. And one thing that you will notice is that my hands are thin, and you can see my tendons, you can see some veins, and there isn't really anything that I can do about that. But I could get filler in my hands, but I don't think I would ever go that route. I'll never say never, but that's nothing I've ever looked into. I just know that I've heard women talk about that, but I really don't mind that my hands have tendons and veins in them. It's just the way I look. But I don't have a lot of dark freckling or age spots on my hands. I do have light freckling, but for being 50 years old, I think that they've really stayed well preserved. And one of the number one tips that I'm going to give you for that is that as soon as I wake up in the morning, I go into the bathroom and I wash my face and I brush my teeth, and I obviously wash my hands too. And then I put on a firming moisturizer with an SPF of 50 all over my face, and then I rub it into my hands and on my arms, neck, and chest. So as soon as I head down into the kitchen where there's windows and light starts hitting me, I'm already protected. So that is, I think, one of my number one tips. And also in my car, I keep right now I have La Roche-Posay. It's in my car, so I'll put a picture of it up here. And it's a skincare-like sunblock that stays in my car. And whenever I get in my car, I put on my seatbelt, turn on the ignition, rub that onto my hands. And if it's the summertime, it goes up my arms and everything too, and then even on my neck, because that's where you get a lot of sun damage, is riding in your car and you don't think of it. And it's never too late to change that habit and start protecting yourself. So that's the next thing that I do that I think has been very, very helpful. Then the third thing I do is whatever skincare I'm using on my face, neck, and chest, peptides, ceramides, retinols, retin-A, whatever it is that I'm using, I always go over my hands with too. And I've recently done those peel pads. Are they by Avene, or I can't remember the brand. I've shown them to you recently. They're a step 1 and step 2. It's a peel pad. You do your face, you wait 10 minutes, then you put on the neutralizer, and it kind of gives you a mini peel. Well, whenever I do that, I put it on my face, and then I go over the tops of my hands too, wait 10 minutes, and then neutralize it. So my hands get whatever treatment my face gets as well. And I've been doing that ever since I was about 40 years old, and I'm 50 now. So I think I've really done some good repair work and kind of anti-aging my hands. I don't have any crepey skin on my hands yet. And I think those first few steps are the reason why. The next things I do is some of the products that I use, I want on my hands, but they come in smaller bottles. Like, for example, my Sunday Riley Good Genes. I don't want to waste that product by using it on my hands. So I do put that on my face, and whatever's left I press onto my hands. But I also have a product from Derma E. I love this for my face as well. It's the Derma E Essentials Overnight Peel Alpha Hydroxy Acids. And this is wonderful. I've been using this as long as it's been on the market, probably 8 to 10 years. It's a really great product. I've talked about it many times on my channel, but I will always use this on my hands as well. So if I'm doing the Good Genes on my face or my Luna oil, I will do my Derma E Alpha Hydroxy Acid Peel on my hands, and then I'll do the Derma E Cranberry and Rosehip Oil on my hands and rub it in. So my hands are getting basically the same treatment my face is, but I don't want to spend a lot. So I have different products. I also have from Derma E two big containers. This one is retinol palmitate cream, and I also have the peptide, collagen and peptide cream, and they come in big tubs like this, and I keep them in my nightstand drawer. And so when I'm reaching over to moisturize my hands at night, I will grab something that's got skincare like ingredients and rub it on my hands and up my arms, and just treat the skin on my upper body like I would my face. And it's really helped me avoid crepey skin and keeping my hands looking young. Now there's a couple things that I do only for my hands, and one is like a treasure that I never would have found if my husband hadn't received it as a Christmas gift. And it's from Duluth Trading Company, and it's two products. It's the walnut husk hand scrub, and it's a hand scrub that has crushed ground walnut husks in it, but it also has lots of other really good for you ingredients. I wrote them down, so let me just read. It's called the Spit and Polish Walnut Non-Abrasive Scrub, and you just take a pinch. It's like a powder. It's like a brown powder, and you wet your palms and you scrub this vigorously into your hands. It does foam a tiny bit. It has volcanic pumice in it, ground walnut husks, coconut oil, cocoa butter, vitamin E, lots of different natural moisturizers and botanicals in it. It has tea tree oil, rosemary oil, bentonite clay, and colloidal oatmeal. So it's non-abrasive, but it is a physical and an enzymatic exfoliant for your hands. And I'll do this about twice a week. I keep this sitting on my windowsill of my kitchen. So when I'm in the kitchen, I really like to use this when I'm cooking, and you know how sometimes you're working with butter or oils and your hands get like a coating on them, and it feels so good, and you know it's good for your hands, but it's food, it's butter, and you need to kind of get it off. This will emulsify that right off without stripping the natural oils from your hands. So I would really recommend this. It's not that expensive. It's under $20. This reminds me of something you could get from like Williams Sonoma, and it would be like $50. Check Duluth Trading Company's Apothecary. They have beautiful products. Okay, and the next one, you should probably get it in unscented, because if you do, it's like a clean product, but I like lemon, and it does have fragrance in it, which we all know fragrance is bad. It's full of lots of bad stuff, but it does have lemon oil in it, and I like that because I like lemon oil on my hand products because I feel like it lightens up the sunspots and freckles that I have. And this is the No Crack Lemon Hand Cream. I think it comes in lavender and it comes in unscented. And this has so many beautiful ingredients in it, but one of the key ingredients is allantoin, which is like a botanical plant ingredient, and it stimulates wound healing, and it repairs the texture and creates healthy skin. This is meant for like men who work in garages and things like that, men who work with their hands. And so it is like just amazing. It's a thick cream like this, and I just put a little on my palms and go like this, and it soaks right in. It doesn't feel greasy at all. It just soaks right in, and it leaves your skin feeling really good. So these two things do sit on my windowsill, and I use them all the time. I feel like in my kitchen is where I spend a lot of my time. So if these are there, I'll reach for them, and I do. And these would make a great Christmas present for your husband, for your sons, for yourself. You could even get it for a girlfriend, even though it's like a men's product, and she would be like, what? And then you could just tell her it's really, really good. All right. The next things I have is a classic, Burt's Bees Lemon Butter Cuticle Cream. I keep one of these in my car, and it's just a really, really nice cuticle cream. It's like a balm, and you warm it up with your finger and then just rub it on your cuticles, and it feels really, really good. It soaks in, and I never get like jagged cuticles anymore just because I've been taking such good care of my hands. And so I would really recommend this. It's a favorite. I've tried other ones and I always go back to this. The next thing is Badger Balm, and this is in Damascus Rose. I also really like the Sea Buckthorn one, and it's a balm, and it's kind of like the Smith's Rosebud balm that I mentioned for my lips, but this is a little bit not as like waxy. It's a little more oil-like, and it turns into an oil in your hands. And my husband and I, when we ride in the car, he always likes to give me his hand, and then I'll take one of my Cuticle products and then just like rub his cuticles and fingernails with it. And it's just a really great thing that helps. He really enjoys it. It brings us together, and he looks forward to it on car rides. So I wanted to share that in case that's something you think you could like just surprise your partner with that, like reach over and rub their cuticles while you're driving. They will love it. My other favorite moisturizer, it's a little bit expensive. I think it's like $28, but it'll last you 6 months. So I buy it twice a year, and it's by Strivectin. It's the Nia 114 technology. It's a patented ingredient. It's a molecule of niacin that they patented that sinks deep into the layers of your skin, and it triggers leptin, which is a hormone that repairs skin and creates better texture. And so Strivectin has this Nia 114 patented or trademarked. So they use this in their product, and this is a volumizing hand cream, and it really does add volume to my hands, and this always stays in my purse. The only thing that I wish was different about this is if it had an SPF in it too, then I wouldn't have to use 2 separate products. I always, this is what I keep on my skin almost all day long when I'm out and about to keep my hands hydrated. My hands do get dry skin on them, so I always like to have something on my hands. The other thing I do is I do take a hair, skin, and nail supplement, and this is just from Costco, the Kirkland brand. And this has keratin and biotin and antioxidants, vitamins A, C, calcium, and vitamin D3. And you just take 2 of these a day, and it really helps my hair grow quicker, and it just keeps my skin nice. At least I believe it does. I also take a multivitamin, so that's all I take are these. And I think that's just about everything that I do for my skin. So, oh, one more thing I really wanted to show you is in the winter time, it's always fun to have nice gloves. And a couple of years ago, I discovered some gloves, and I just found a new pair at TJ Maxx, so I thought I would tell you about them. I really like to have fingerless gloves that look like this because I like to have my fingers free when I'm driving, and just when I'm going out and about, my hands the fingers don't get as cold unless I'm out for a long time. And you can even slip on like a light glove under this and keep your fingers protected, but these are very, very warm. And so I just put these on when I'm in my car, and they also keep my hands warm, protected, and stop them from getting chapped. I try to keep the skin on my hands protected from the wind and the elements, and I was so happy to find these at TJ Maxx. This is my youthful hands video. I think that there's something in here that you could probably benefit from, so I hope so. If you have any tips or tricks, please share them down in the comment section. What do you do to keep your hands healthy and keep them looking good? And just, I feel like we talk with our hands. It's like we present ourselves with our hands just like we do with our face, our lips, our eyes. So keeping your hands in good condition, I think, is really important. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a very blessed and beautiful day. I'll see you next time.